What? I can unmute it. – 125 years of basketball played here in Cincinnati, Ohio. 10 Sweet 16s, 8 Elite 8s, 6 Final Fours, where excellence is the expectations. Christian Pagan, KC Stevens, the 9-8 Cincinnati Bearcats hosting the #2 ranked team in the nation, the Iowa State Cyclones, stand at 16-1. Just lost their first game on the road against the Kansas Jayhawks.
Yeah, that was a game in which head coach TJ Otzelberger said his team got spooked in that first half because arguably that was the worst first half Iowa State has had all year. They could not make a basket. They could not control the ball. Kansas had a good start and never looked back. Now Iowa State, they did make it close at times. They started to chip away, but Kansas had a response right back in them. So a team that was once undefeated gets their first loss, and now another road game for the Cyclones as they come here to Cincinnati, and I think it's going to be a good matchup.
It should be a good matchup. Cincinnati in Big 12 play, losing their first 3 games, winning their first against Colorado on Wednesday. They had a lead of 21 points. It was cut down to 4 at one point.
Yeah, I mean, that first half against Colorado was very beautiful basketball for Cincinnati, and that's how they should play. They attacked the paint. They were passing the ball quick. There wasn't much ISO. They were sharing the rock, and that's the key to success, is sharing the ball, hit the paint. They are a paint team. In that second half, they went away from it. They went for more ISO ball, more one-on-ones, and more perimeter shots. That's not Cincinnati's strong suit. They are not a good three-point shooting team, but they are one of the top in the country when it comes to shooting it. They have to stay inside the perimeter, attack the paint. That is their bread and butter for Cincinnati.
For Cincinnati, they will face one of the top teams offensively in Iowa State, averaging 87 points per game. And Iowa State's not only good on offense, but defense as well. These two teams are separated by 1 point defensively. Cincinnati allowing 65 points a game. Iowa State just about 64, 63, and it's going to be a defensive battle tonight.
No doubt. Both of these defenses here today are elite. The only question, I think, is the X factor is the Cincinnati offense. Iowa State's offense is very proven. They're one of the best in the country. You have that tandem we'll talk about in a few moments here. But the Cincinnati offense is really inconsistent. Like I mentioned, if they play like they did in the first half against Colorado, I think they actually have a good shot at winning this game, believe it or not. But if they play like they did in the second half, well, Iowa State's, they're going to have a field party in here. So my eyes are on the Cincinnati offense. The defenses are both elite. Cincinnati has proven to us they can hang with the top dogs on defense. It's just their offense. Can they score points?
The biggest question is, can they score points and can they finish games? Looking at those past few games, Houston only losing by 7. Then you go on the road, West Virginia losing by 2. That UCF game, such a close game as well. Mustafa Cham, career high, 24 points, a team that he transferred from in UCF to now Cincinnati. He silenced the doubters when he was on the road. And the biggest question, too, is the coaching. The biggest thing for Wes Miller in every press conference is we've struggled to finish out games. That's our goal. For him against Iowa State, in his career, he has not won a single game against the Cyclones. So he's looking to coach against one of the top coaches, too, for the Cyclones' history.
TJ Otzelberger is honestly such a phenomenal coach, and the things he has done in Ames, Iowa is honestly spectacular. But you look at Cincinnati, you mentioned they lost their first 3 conference games. That was by a total of 10 points, and the main thing it comes down to, like you mentioned, is closing out the games. They go on scoring droughts. They can't make a bucket when it matters. Yes, they did win against Colorado, but no field goals in the final 4 minutes and 2 seconds. Don't get me wrong, Coach Miller knows what he's going against. He hears it every day, every game here as well when the fans boo at him. Social media stuff, they're going to ask him questions of pressure. There's no doubt he is feeling that, he's hearing all that. But this is an opportunity to really change some things and, you know, flip the motive upside down.
It will be, and for the Bearcats, they've relied heavily on Baba Miller and Mustafa Cham. They're 2 bigs to play down low. Baba Miller, he's making a name for himself. He has the size and the wingspan and the ability to be a draft prospect in Cincinnati, which they have not had in some time. And Mustafa Cham, he's so young, just a sophomore, standing at 7'2", works away in the paint, and now he's building that mid-range game, which has been very hard for defenses to stop. Anytime they play that zone defense, he finds that pocket. Day Thomas or Jizzle James will feed the ball to him. He'll take a step back near the free throw line and knock down a shot.
2 things. First off, Iowa State sometimes today, don't be surprised if they run a zone. That's where Kansas beat them. It's exactly what Mustafa Cham is good at. He will sit at the free throw line, get that high pass, turn. He can either go for the floater or dish it off. Unfortunately, we're not a good three-point shooting team, which makes it a little bit different. But that is what Cincinnati ran against Colorado, and that is how Kansas beat Iowa State. Second, I don't think it's crazy to say Baba Miller might be the best player on the court. Looking at both teams, we know about Joshua Jefferson and Milan Momcilovic. I don't think it's crazy to say Baba Miller might be the most complete person on the court. He's the star of this team. You mentioned Mustafa Cham as well. I mean, those are the 2 bigs for Cincinnati. That's their bread and butter, but they don't really go in the paint as often as they should with those 2 stars they have underneath.
And that's some things. They get the ball, they go quick. And sometimes you'll see those quick shots. They're late in the shot clock, and you just need to put up a shot. Baba Miller will attempt a 3-pointer. You may see Mustafa Cham, not your most reliable guys to put up shots. But on the flip side, Iowa State, they're those teams that you want to go quick against. They're a high-scoring team. You need to be quick in this game. And you mentioned Joshua Jefferson, 17 points a game, paired up with his man, Milan Momcilovic, 17 as well. Those 2 will go back and forth, and it's hard to stop 2 stars than it is to stop 1.
Casey, you're right. The only thing, too, is that they are 2 completely different players as well. Momcilovic, he's your perimeter shooter. He's a sharpshooter, okay? He leads the country in 3-point percentage at 54%. That is outrageous to even talk about. But then Jefferson's kind of the opposite. You know, he does have a little bit of a 3-point shot, but he's more prominent down in the paint, controlling the glass. So you have these 2 stars, 2 amazing talents, and they play differently, and they mesh so well together, which is a key reason on the success that Iowa State has had, not only this year, but also in the past.
And for this to be the 10th matchup between these 2 teams, being in Fifth Third Arena, Christian Pagan and Casey Stevens, we'll take a short break and be back right before tip-off here on Bearcat Sports Radio. Welcome back to Bearcast Sports Radio. Christian Pagan with Casey Stevens. For their starting lineups, the Iowa State team will have a veteran lineup starting with their senior, 6'1", 200-pound Taman Lipsey. Joshua Jefferson, the 6'9", 240 senior. Milan Mikulovic, 6'3", 185 senior. Blake Buchanan, the junior, and followed by number 27, the 6'11" senior, Killian Torre. For the Cincinnati Bearcats, they will stick to a lineup that we've consistently seen from the past 10 games. Day Thomas, Jizzle James, Sincere Harris, Baba Miller, and Mustafa Cham. This Iowa State team is one that is dangerous, beating one of the top teams in the entire nation. And in the Big Ten, Purdue earlier this season, they dismantled them, winning that game 80-52. Christian, a team that's not, they started ranked 16th this season, fought their way all the way up to number 2.
I was actually talking to some locals courtside before the game, and I was like, so you guys have tied the largest margin of victory over an AP #1 team on the road. Were you expecting that? And he goes, absolutely not. At that point, they believe that, hey, if we can do that to a #1 team like Purdue on the road at Mackey Arena, they can beat anybody. And they've went on this insane streak, 16-0. Then they lost to Kansas, but here we go. Another challenge today against Cincinnati.
Cham won the tip for the Bearcats. Jizzle James will control it over to Miller. Top of the key, brings it in to inside the arc. Tries to work his way around, guarded tightly. Finds Cham. 14 on the shot clock. Jizzle over to Thomas. Thomas pump fakes the 3, goes inside for a mid-range J. Comes down with the rebound for Lipsey in the Cyclones.
Iowa State has such a physical defense, but hey, so does Cincinnati. Keep an eye on that Day Thomas, Taman Lipsey matchup.
Cincinnati is seeking a top-ranked win. They haven't had one since 2024. First layup is good for the Cyclones. Cham, top of the key. 2-0 lead for the Cyclones. Finds Miller. Team for the Bearcats. Miller drives in, looks for Cham, finds Thomas in the corner. Thought about the 3, goes to Cham near that free throw line, puts up the mid-range J, no good, rebounded by Torre.
It's not a bad shot by Cham at the left elbow. That's been his bread and butter recently, but the Bearcats too much standing around on the perimeter. They have to make these backdoor cuts and get some off-ball movement going.
Sincere Harris with the tip. Baba Miller comes down with it. Jizzle James in the fast break. He drives in, pushes off, layup no good. Harris fights for the rebound, tipped off, and it will stay with the Bearcats. All second defensive team in the Big 12 for Sincere Harris, transferred from West Virginia, to the Bearcats, and he's been dominant on the defensive end.
Yeah, I mean, this Cincinnati team, they are a veteran team with so much experience. Harris, one of those guys with a lot of college experience, and he is an elite defender that helps this elite defense.
James, left wing, finds Harris. Not the most proficient three-point shooter, misses the layup. Lipsey finds Torre, the senior. Goes to Buchanan, down low, pass is good, but blocked by Miller. Rebounded by Joshua Jefferson, the leading scorer for the Cyclones. He gets his first bucket in.
That's too easy, just a simple backdoor cut. Nobody is marking him. Miller tried to contest it, got a little piece of it, but Jefferson got his putback.
James for 3, no good. Rebounded by Jefferson. Fast pace now for the Cyclones. Goes down to Matilovic. Thomas. Matilovic stands at 6'11". Day Thomas 6'1", gets the stop. Bearcats look to get their first bucket on the board. Thomas floater, it's good. There's the first bucket for the Bearcats. 2-4 lead for the Cyclones, 17:28 to go in the first half.
Well, Day Thomas a lot of speed. He's going to drive it on that baseline, go with the floater, but the Bearcats start this game 1 of 6 from the floor. Not a good start on that.
Torre, work down low. Foul's going to be called on the Bearcats. Day Thomas in the first 4 Big 12 games throughout the season, he's averaged 10 points, 4 rebounds, and roughly 3 assists. Big facilitator and able to score for himself as well, but he was silent in that Colorado game. Took him almost the entire game to get his first bucket, and just great movement off the ball. Killian Torre gets another layup in. It's 2-6 ball game here in 5th third.
Those backdoor cuts are really hurting Cincinnati on the defensive end.
Day Thomas, mid-range J, no good. James tips back from Miller. Here's the three, and it's good. Jizzle James. He knocks it down. It's electric here in Cincinnati. Sincere Harris with the tip off the inbound pass. You can hear the fans. They're on their feet. They want to see a big upset here in fifth third.
Let me tell you, Jizzle James, we all know the story about him, how he just got back on the team exactly 1 month ago to this day. He is going to need to have a big game today against Iowa State, and he has so in the past in his career, so keep an eye on him today.
Not the most effective three-point shooter, under 30%, and defensively, Sincere Harris. He's been a pest. Lipsy got down to 19 on the shot clock. You can just hear the energy that Cincinnati is using to feed their players out on the court. 10 seconds to go for the Cyclones. Finds Heisey. Heisey drives in, right-handed lay is good. 5-8, Nate Heisey just checked in and he gets his first bucket.
Simple as that, crossover, go to his right, drive past the big man McKinley, goes with a layup off the glass. Something that head coach Otzelberger has really emphasized, waiting for that extra pass. Do not get afraid of the moment, especially if the shot clock's winding down. Do not get afraid, trust in the L, and they did just that.
Matchup to look at too is Joshua Jefferson guarding Baba Miller. A bit of a height difference. Miller at 6'11", Jefferson at 6'9", and they were going back and forth. Jefferson may have a little bit more muscle on him than Miller, but it's that length that Miller's used to. He's able to use his legs, get to the rim, and Jefferson is one of the most profound defensive players as well for the Cyclones.
There's a lot of good matchups. That's one of them, especially you look at Lipsy and Sincere Harris. That's going to be a fun one too.
Here's James. He drives in towards the paint. 7 on the shot clock to go. Steps away, tries for the fadeaway. Clock's now to 3. Day Thomas, deep three's up. No good. Rebound comes to Jefferson. He takes it himself, goes to the corner, finds Motelovich. Posts up with James. Puts the floater in, no good. Rebound is being fought for. Celestine and Jefferson on the ground finds Torre. He just checked back in. 15:27 to go. Killian Torre, step back three, it's blocked by Miller. He drives in with the right hand, goes on McKinley. Miller comes down with the rebound. Here's James, picks up the pace, finds Celestine, goes to Thomas in the corner. Deep three, in and out. Rebound for Jefferson and the Cyclones.
Day, he was hitting that corner three in pregame a lot. That's a good look, just unfortunate it went in and out. But the Bearcats, they got to step up on defense. They really have to get a stop.
Motelovich. Jefferson in the corner, guarded by Celestine. He just checked in. Now a steal for Miller. Miller, Euro step layup is good. 7-8 here in fifth third. 14:45 in the first half.
For Baba Miller, he does such a great job at attacking the basket. That is one of his strong suits, and his length we talked about. Easily get by the defender and lay it off the glass.
Motelovich, not a guy you want to leave open near the three-point arc. No good. Celestine comes down with it. Here comes Thomas and the Bearcats. Back to Celestine. Pulls up three. It's good! 10-8 here in Cincinnati. 14 to go in the first half. The energy is being filled in fifth third.
About Iowa State, 2-minute scoring drought. Not really characteristic of this offense. How will they respond?
Torre. James guarding him. Backs into the corner, finds Plata. Jefferson picks up his dribble, back to Torre. He finds Jefferson on the wing. 6 to go on the shot clock. James guarding him. Jefferson, tough shot. No good. Miller comes down with the rebound.
Good defense right there by Jizzle James. Not shying away from the height differential between him and Jefferson.
Mismatch. Torre on Miller. Picked off. Plato came up with the steal, finds Jefferson. Back to Torre as they cross the timeline. 10-8 is the lead for the Bearcats. Torre down low pass to Plato, and James picks his pocket. Celestine brings up the ball. He thinks about a pull-up three, knocks it down! 13-8, 5-point lead for the Bearcats. Timeout by the Cyclones.
You know, Jalen Celestine, he's one of those guys you bring in with a lot of experience, his 6th college year. He is known to be a three-point shooter. Once he gets going, it makes this offense so much more lethal. And it's a huge plus because we talked about it, Cincinnati, they are not a good three-point shooting team, but so far, starting the game 3 of 6 from beyond the arc, an 8-0 run over the last 90 seconds. The defense is paving the way for the offense. That's going to be the key tonight for Cincinnati.
And we mentioned the pace of play as well. You have to play fast against this Iowa State team. They're a top-ranked team. They're able to score a lot, and they can play good on defense. Just the lack of transition defensively. Cincinnati knows how to get in the passing lanes and tip the ball. Continue to see that they forced the Cyclones on a scoring drought in the past 3 minutes here in Fifth Third Arena. Christian Pagan with Casey Stevens. We'll take a short break and be back with some more game action. Welcome back to Fifth Third Arena. Here where the Cincinnati Bearcats lead 13-8 with 13-17 to go. Time of possession. It's been interesting between these two teams.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at Cincinnati, you talked about it, when you play against a good team like Iowa State, on O, you have to play fast. The Bearcats are doing just that. We saw them do that in the Colorado game, especially in the first half. On defense, the Bearcats, they are elite. They want to slow you down, and they're doing just that. Opponents are taking 17.8 seconds per possession. That is 283rd nationally. The Bearcats are slowing down Iowa State, and it could be throwing them off rhythm.
5-point lead for the Bearcats. Buchanan tries to find Jefferson, tipped away. Keyshawn Tillery checked in for the Bearcats. Celestine, he's been on tear, 6 points for him. Before the timeout, he pulled up at the top of the key for a 3 to extend the lead. Abayev checks in, the All-American. Second highest recruit signed from Cincinnati since Lance Stevenson. Celestine for 3, it's good! Corner 3, shakes it. Fifth Third, they're feeling it.
It looks like a 3-2 zone for Iowa State. I told you, don't be surprised if they run zone, but the Bearcats, that's what they did against Colorado. You hit your center at the free throw line, dish it out, easy 3.
Air ball for the Cyclones. Bayev comes up with the ball, goes to Tillery. Just a freshman, averaging 3 points a game, comes in roughly for about 8 minutes. He's finding his groove, goes to Thomas. Thomas back pass over to Tillery. Near the wing, tries to take off, goes to Dede Thomas for 3, and it's good! 3-point barrage here in Cincinnati.
Oh, okay. A 17-2 run for Cincinnati over the last 5 minutes. That is incredible.
Cincinnati did it to Iowa State in football. Can they do it in basketball? Buchanan knocks down, ends the 14-0 run. 19-10 lead, 11:38 to go in the first half. Tillery, top of the key, finds Thomas. 1 for 2 from 3, goes to Tillery. Thomas again near the wing, tries to work down low. Tillery, foul will be called on Jamarion Bateman. This is the freshman. He's one of the top recruits out of Iowa State, as well as 7th highest ranked in Iowa State history.
A little fact for you, Casey, that 17-2 run for Cincinnati, that is the largest run Iowa State has allowed on defense this year. Remember, against Kansas, they allowed a 13-0 run. That was the previous high, and the Bearcats surpassed that. This game looks awfully similar because against Kansas, Iowa State struggled in that first half, and Kansas never looked back. So far here, Iowa State 5 of 13 from the floor, 4 turnovers, a team that doesn't turn the ball over that much. So far, Cincinnati coming up with that edge to begin this game.
That's what you need, especially against some strong power offense and really good defense. Cincinnati, Jalen Celestine. We have not seen him perform defensively the best, and he's more of that offensive guy, but he came up with a great tip pass. Tillery came down, find Thomas in the corner, knocked down 3. Just threes have been going in, and that's different. We mentioned this is not a three-point shooting team at all, and they're finding a groove.
Absolutely. I mean, they are 5 of 8 from beyond the arc right now. Over the last 2 games, they're shooting 6 of 35 from beyond the arc. So far for Cincinnati, the 3-ball has been the X factor on this offense for UC. But yeah, you're going to have those guys like your Jalen Celestine, they're going to step up. Jizzle James had that early 3. Day Thomas, we know he can shoot the 3 very well. So it's just, you got to keep trusting your offense. You got to keep trusting these guys in the playbook. I know it's still early. We have 30 minutes of action still to go, including the second half. Cincinnati cannot shy away from this. Yes, Iowa State are going to make the adjustments, but they have to keep the gas on the pedal all the way down. Pedal to the metal.
And if you look back at the Colorado game, I was here as a fan and watching just the pace of play. Cincinnati that first half, they were not the team that you usually see at all, and they've started their first half so well. And we mentioned it's closing out those games. Are you able to continue that? Put your foot down on the pedal, keep going down, and Wes Miller has mentioned in multiple press conferences, we're a good team. We've been injured a lot. We've had a lot of issues on the offensive end, and we need to finish out games, and that comes to coaching.
Yeah.
Will he be able to coach this team well enough to finish out this game, especially when you have the home crowd and energy and momentum all on your side?
Yeah, I mean, you look at the fans here, it's a whiteout. You do have a lot of Iowa State fans, but they always travel very well from Ames or wherever they're from. They have a really good fan base. But you look at the coaching of Cincinnati, Wes Miller so far ahead of Otzelberger. But this Iowa State team on the road, they've been off to some shaky starts. Their past 2 road games in conference play, their average just 24 points in the first half. Their season average is 41. So this has been kind of an alarming issue for Iowa State, are these first half starts, but they always come back in the second half. They always have a response.
For Cincinnati, take the inbound pass down on the baseline. 11-27, a 9-point lead for the Bearcats. Abayev, left wing, double teamed, tries to find Tillery. Tillery to Harris, a guy that you can leave open on 3-point arc shooting, just around 14% behind the arc.
Yeah, it's not the most appealing number you want to look at, but he actually took a redshirt year because he wanted to become more than just a defensive guy. He wants to really shape up and enhance his craft when it comes to his offense. And, you know, he may not be well at shooting the ball from deep, but he can really drive and has a really good touch off the glass.
7 seconds on the shot clock. Tillery has to make something work, goes down low, up and under layup, it's good. He works around Jamarian Bateman, and he goes down. Not 100% sure on what happened, but he's able to get up on his own.
Looking at the replay on the Jumbotron, he's in a lot of pain. That's not a good look. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I think he took some contact inadvertently. It may have been from the driving Tillery, but, you know, this Iowa State team, they go about 7, 8 deep. Bateman's one of those guys that they rely upon a lot off the bench, so if he can't continue, it'll be interesting to see who steps up.
Hard fall from Harris off the screen from Plato led to a wide open 3 for Lipsy. 21-13, 10:49 to go. Tillery finds Abayev, 2 freshman recruits. Here's Abayev, he drives in, finds Harris on the cut. No good, but he'll go to the line for 2 shots.
Now, is that foul against Harris, who was driving in, or the putback by Chom? Let's see.
It's going to be Harris going to the line. First shooting foul that we've seen. Sincere Harris, 7-point average score, roughly about a steal a game. He'll get a handful of deflections as well. I mentioned earlier, 2025 All Big 12 defensive team when he was at West Virginia. Found his way into the starting lineup with Sean Abayev having a few concerns, but misses the first, 21-13. 10:38 to go. Second shot's up, and it's good. Free throw shooting has been a struggle for the Bearcats in recent years and continues to be a major struggle throughout the season.
It's been a big struggle, but luckily for Cincinnati, they're playing against Iowa State, a team that's 15th in the Big 12 in free throw percentage.
Matelovic works around Abayev. Spins down low into the paint. Top of the key for Jefferson. He has not been able to get anything going. Tillery came in. Here's Abayev. Harris drives up, goes up, no good, but he'll go to the line for 2 more shots.
So right there on that defensive possession, you saw Momcilovic bodying down, I believe it was Abayev down in the paint, and then Tillery that helped defense. You know, he may have got a slight deflection on that and may have threw Momcilovic off a little bit, but before you know it, that ball is loose. The Bearcats with a lot of speed. You see on that transition how fast they move. They had the 3-on-2. Harris could have went with the lob to Abayev, but hey, he'll take the contact and go to the line.
We've seen Abayev be electric anytime he's able to get those great passes, throws it down, the crowd goes crazy. Harris not able to connect on his first. He's 1 for 3 from the line, and he knows it. He knows he needs to knock down these shots.
I mean, realistically, these are the 2 worst free throw shooting teams in the Big 12. Just one happens to be ranked number 2 in the country.
Harris knocks down the second. He's been a pest on Lipsy.
This is a fun matchup. They both play similar. They're very physical. They're known for their defense. Just Lipsy has a little more on the offensive end.
Lipsy finds Matelovic, step back 3, attempted to get Abayev in the air and does. He'll go to the line for 3 shots.
Yeah, Momcilovic, you know, he's gonna, gotta keep an eye on that. He's gonna pump fake. If you're a defender, you gotta stay on your feet, but it's so hard when, you know, you get the scouting report, okay, number 22, Momcilovic, and you see he shoots 54% from deep. You go, okay, well, he can probably make some 3-pointers as he missed the first free throw, but, you know, it's going to be very tough for those Bearcats to stay on their feet because he will pump fake and he will draw that contact.
He's not a guy who can shy away from scoring either, having 29 against FDU. Knocks down the first free throw. And that's his first points of the game. And we mentioned it's hard to stop 2 stars, but Cincinnati has done it well.
Oh,
1 for 3 at the line.
He's a 90% free throw shooting. He went 1 of 3. Wow.
Cincinnati crowd has played a factor. Here's Abayev, right wing.
Beautiful.
Looks for Tillery on a great pass and cut. Tillery finishes at the rim. 25-14. 9:34 to go in the first half.
Beautiful, beautiful feed right there by Abayev. Backdoor cut by Tillery. Easy reverse layup.
Jefferson attempts to go to the line, and he'll go for 2 shots. Drew the foul. Tyler McKinley looks to check in for the Bearcats. And Christian, this is a surprise. Cincinnati is out-scoring, out-rebounding, and also out-assisting an Iowa State team that's ranked 2nd in the nation.
Yeah, I mean, we do have an 11-point lead right now. I'm not going to say I'm exactly surprised that, you know, it's a good game right now. I just think the way that they've done it, having the effect from beyond the arc from Cincinnati, that I was not expecting. I think this defense for Cincinnati can keep them in the game with anyone, but just the way the offense has sparked has really surprised me.
Jefferson goes 1 for 2 at the line, 60% free throw shooter. Here's Abayev. Quick 3's up. No good. McKinley tries to fight for the rebound, stays with Iowa State. That's the first missed field goal for Cincinnati in their last 8 shots.
Yeah, and Abayev, that right wing 3-pointer, I was watching him warm up. That really just wasn't his strength in that warm-up shoot-around. Just really couldn't get things to fall. Already maybe some contact there on the replay, but out.
Jefferson, top of the key, 3, no good. Abayev comes down with the rebound. Tillery passes the timeline near the Fifth Word logo, uses his right hand, takes it back out. Abayev, top of the three. Thinks about it, gets the screen, three's up, in and out. McKinley fights for the rebound. He looks out to Tillery, three's up. No good, rebound by Miller.
Good.
Back to Tillery, slows it down. 8:40 to go, 25-15 is the lead for the Bearcats. Tillery, McKinley. Miller, top of the key. He dribbles down with his right hand, loses it slightly. 5 to go, Sincere Harris, great pass to McKinley. He gets slammed to the ground and they'll call a block off of Buchanan.
I mean, I heard that McKinley has to be shaken up. He walks gingerly. That was a loud fall.
He's coming off of an injury of last season, which forced him to redshirt. Jefferson finds Lipsy, shakes off Abayev, goes down low to Buchanan. He gets an easy lay, 25-17. First shot for the Cyclones in the last 2:35. Timeout will be called for the Bearcats at the 8-minute mark.
Yeah, I think McKinley, that was a hard fall. He went there to contest the rebound. I wasn't exactly sure who he was battling with, but he took a hard fall. I mean, we heard it from here. It's loud in here. I have my headset on, both ears, and I heard it like, clear as day. And I think that right there, he's definitely feeling that. But McKinley, he is a guy, his role is not to score, and he does it so well. He's going to be getting those offensive boards, making those screens, freeing up space. He does all the dirty work that necessarily doesn't really show up in the stats sheet, or may not be the most appealing, but he is a culture guy, and he has a huge impact for the Cincinnati team.
For the Cincinnati Bearcats, they lead 25-17, 8 minutes to go in the first half. They call a timeout. We'll take a short break here on Bearcats Sports Radio. Welcome back to Fifth Third Arena. Christian Pagan with KC Stevens. A 17-25 point lead for the Bearcats. 8 minutes to go in the first half. In Cincinnati, they've been dominant behind the arc, shooting 45%, 5 of 11, led by Jalen Celestine's 9 points.
Yeah, like I said, that's been a shock to me, because if you've been watching this Cincinnati team, you know damn well they're not a good three-point shooting team, but this is the type of performance you're going to need to beat a team like Iowa State. You're going to have some things that you don't expect, and I think for these fans, for this team to be shooting 45% from beyond the arc to start the game, I mean, that's pretty incredible for the way this team has been over the past couple of weeks.
They've relied heavily on Day-Day Thomas and Chisel James behind the arc, and a different look for the Cyclones on defense. They were playing in that zone, more of a man zone now. Finds James, top of the key, mid-range chase, good. 27-17, Chisel James finds the bottom of the net. He makes it back up on the board.
He loves that pull-up jumper just inside the arc. That is truly his bread and butter.
Here's Jefferson. 5 rebounds for him and 3 points, 2 assists. Lipsy shakes off Miller. Miller with the tip and kick ball. And I'm looking at who's out there on the floor for the Bearcats. Chom, Celestine, Thomas, James, and Miller. Chom has been scoreless in the first half. 0 points, a guy who's relied on heavily in the offense.
Yeah, I think honestly just because they're not directly attacking the block, but instead they had backdoor cutters like their guards are charging in. I think that's been a big reason why he hasn't scored yet.
Foul will be called, and Dede Thomas went in for the strip. Wes Miller is very charismatic. Here's the referee who made the call and sent Jefferson to the line for 2 shots.
Well, here's the thing, too. With Iowa State and their defense, they have a philosophy in which they want to trap you on those perimeters. So the baseline, the half-court line, which is why you saw them in their zone. When James or one of the players had it near the half-court, they sent the pressure. They sent the house. So that's their philosophy, is really to bring pressure on the perimeter. But to Mustafa Cham, they really haven't been attacking directly towards him in the paint. Instead, they're bringing him up a little bit more and then freeing up those backdoor cutters.
Second foul on Thomas. Jefferson knocks down both shots, 27-19, 7:14 to go in the first half. Tillery checked in. James, top of the key, looks for Celestine. He works around his defender. Picks up his dribble, back to Miller. Deep three's up. No good. Fought for the rebound, finds Jefferson. Crosses around Cham. Miller guarding him now. Works down low in the paint. Tries to draw the foul. Miller goes straight up. Rebound by Tillery.
Don't have numbers.
He works back. Finds Miller. Tillery down low to Miller. Cham opened at the top. Miller works down low, takes it himself, and draws the foul on Jefferson. He goes to the line for 2 shots.
Yeah, so Miller, nice spin move into the paint. He's going to body down Jefferson. He could have passed it out to Cham. You know, your 7-2 center is not your best 3-point shooter, but hey, he's 3 for his last 6. I'm just saying that might be an option down the road. But Miller, like I mentioned, does such a great job at attacking the paint. He finds his space so effectively and so quickly. He is truly a very, very special talent.
Baba Miller, the line for 2 shots. In and out on the first one, but the guy who's averaging 13 points, 10 rebounds, he's ranked 9th in Division I for rebounds per game, and that's something that Cincinnati's been missing. Last year you had AZ Bandego, who was your tall post scorer. Just Baba Miller and Mustafa Cham have stepped that role up more and have lived up to that expectation of the post scoring that Cincinnati's been missing over the past few years. Yeah,
that's their identity, is to attack the paint, win the rebounding battle, and just be very physical in the paint. Like I mentioned before, sometimes Cincinnati and head coach Wes Miller, they move away from that and go around the perimeter, which is not their strong suit.
Lipsy with the right-hand layup is good. 28-21, 10-point lead cut down to 7 for the Bearcats. Tillery, Celestine, James, Cham, Miller for the Bearcats. Tillery crosses up Lipsy. Finds James. He's guarded tightly by Torre. Cham thought about the 3. Has Plata guarding him. 8 on the shot clock. He gets doubled, looks down low to Miller, tipped away. Finds Cham again. He needs to go quick. Miller, left-handed, no good. Cham fights for the rebound, finds Torre.
Too much time right there taking off. Too much.
Left wing 3 is up, no good. Rebounded by Celestine. Lipsy attempted the 3. Here's James. Torre thought about it. Celestine from 3. No good. Finds the hands of Lipsy. Numbers with the Bearcats. Takes Tillery. Matulovic finds Lipsy. He goes for the lob down low and draws the foul. It's Plata. He'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, so Lipsy wanted that oop. I don't think Plata was expecting it. That ball was hanging in the air. He goes, oh, wait, that's for me. Gets it up and draws the contact. But so far, the Cincinnati offense has really found a slump here. You know, 1 of their last 8 from the floor. They have to find their sets. They have to move quickly against this pesky Iowa State defense.
Send the line for Plata. Wes Miller talking to his team, most likely telling them, hey, like you mentioned, we're 1 of the last 8. We need to get 1 to go through. The last shot made was Jizzle James' mid-range jumper. And since then, it's just been missed shots, fighting for the rebounds, allowing Iowa State to work down. And you're sending a guy who's one of the top players out of Germany in Domiscus Plata, a 4-star recruit, the 2nd player ever out of Germany to come to Iowa State, and he knocks down the first shot.
Yeah, for Cincinnati, their offense, they're just playing too much on the perimeter. They have to attack the paint. They're taking too much time with this one-on-one ISO stuff. They really have to move the ball quickly and hit those backdoor cuts.
Plata misses. Celestine comes up with the rebound. Harris checked in for the Bearcats. Miller checked out. A bit of a small ball lineup. James works around. Torre works between, goes for the layup. Chom comes up with the rebound, and he gets his first bucket to go. Mustafa Chom, offensive rebounds, and able to put it back to make this an 8-point game for the Bearcats.
Simply right place, right time.
Travel will be called on Dominic Nelson, the senior. Keyshawn Tillery guarding him, and Nelson tried to work down low, go for that post move, and Tillery just moved away, let him move, and he just carried his body with him and his feet to force a turnover.
You know, Keyshawn Tillery's been playing some good minutes in this game against Iowa State. I mean, the Bearcats, you know, you see that 1-2 tandem of Day-Day Thomas and Jizzle James, and kind of Tillery's the odd man out there, but so far, Coach Wes Miller putting a lot of trust in Tillery, getting him some good minutes, and he's making the best of them.
With Day-Day Thomas's 2 fouls, Tillery has to step up for the Bearcats. 4:40 to go, 30-22. James McKinley, top of the key, finds Celestine, works on that right wing, doubled by Heisey, and Plata looks for Harris, down low. Harris goes up, gets blocked. McKinley with the offensive board and puts it back. 10-point lead for the Bearcats.
Once again, right place, right time. This time it's Howard McKinley. As I mentioned, he does all the dirty work right, and he gets the offensive board and puts it back up.
Sincere Harris is getting Cincinnati fans electric. His defensive presence allows the Bearcats to ride momentum, but Killian Torre silenced the crowd. Nice fadeaway to get on the board. He has 4 points, and 3 rebounds. Here's James. Tries to work around McKinley with the screen. Finds Celestine. James, top of the 3, thought about it. Works around.
Too much time.
Celestine, 7 to go on the shot clock. Looks to Harris in the corner. Not the guy you want to take a 3, but when it goes up, it goes. Shot clock violation for the Bearcats. We'll take a media timeout here. On the floor, Chris. Big game. Second-ranked team in the nation. They're down. They're coming off of what you could say an embarrassing loss to the Kansas team that's led by a freshman in Darren Peterson. And for Cincinnati, the defense has just been the name of the game.
It has been. That's our identity right now. Like I mentioned, on the O, it's the win the paint battle. On defense, it's to be physical. You know, this is a defense-first team because of how elite they are, and they're causing a lot of problems for Iowa State. Right now, the Cyclones shooting 43% from the floor, but how about 1 of 6 from deep? This is a team that is 4th nationally in three-point percentage coming into this game, shooting a 40% clip. So far, that's not been the story, and the Bearcats' defense is playing a huge role in that.
Absolutely, and defense is what you need to win this game. 2 profound and very well put together defensive teams going back and forth, and 1 offense that's getting shut down by a stronger defense. And Iowa State, a team that averages 87 points a game. Cincinnati's defense only allows 65, and that's a 20-point margin. Will Cincinnati be able to keep that up with 3:34 before halftime? You want that momentum going into the locker room on your side. And with an 8-point lead, it looks like you could have that little bit going in, but at the same time, this is a first-half team. You mentioned earlier, Iowa State, they had that bit of a first-half slump, and they'll bring it back up in the second half.
Yep, we've seen that in the back-to-back road games that they played. But if I'm head coach Wes Miller in Cincinnati, for the final 3 minutes and 34, 2 things. You don't want to get outscored, obviously, but if I'm Cincinnati, I want at least a 10-point lead going into the half. You need momentum on that side. That's very, very crucial, because if when that second half starts, and say you have a really good start, like a good run to start off the game, it changes the whole dynamic. But right now, the final 3 minutes, 34 seconds, if I'm Cincinnati, can't get outscored, and you want to get into half with at least a 10-point lead.
Absolutely. Cincinnati and the TV team here in Fifth Third Arena will come back onto the floor. It's been interesting, too. Joshua Jefferson, 17 points per game. He's been pretty much silent for the Cyclones. He's been very dominant rebounding the ball. Leads the team with 7 rebounds this game, but only 4 points.
Yeah, I mean, Joshua Jefferson, we know he's he's going to be a very special player. He's very talented, but he's kind of, been in a slump over his last 2 games. 8 of 28 from the floor. He does a good job at driving the paint, but when you got a guy like Baba Miller guarding you and go against some really good defensive teams, it's going to make things really difficult. But the good thing about Iowa State is they have so many other good playmakers, too, that can really rise up to the occasion, like this guy, Taman Lipsey. He's one of them, too.
Lipsey guarded by Harris. These two familiar facing each other. Western Virginia prior to coming to Cincinnati for Harris. Here's Buchanan. Foul on the floor by Harris. Getting chippy with Lipsey.
It's funny you bring that up. When I was talking pregame to some locals of Iowa State, they were like, yeah, Lipsey and Jizzle James, they have some beef, we can call it. The way they play each other, so physical. They know each other very, very well because they have similar play styles. Just today, it's like the same, but it's Taman Lipsey and Sensor Harris. That is one of the matchups I talked about that's so intriguing because they play such a similar style.
Great cut by Heisey. Tried to go for a pass and stolen away by the Bearcats. Here's Harris. He works down low, finds Cham for 3. It is good! Oh. Mustafa Cham does it. 4 of 7 the last 3 games from behind the arc. Will it match? No good for Matelevic. Here comes Harris. He goes quick, finds Tillery on a great cut. Ball will stay with the Bearcats.
Tillery, he was driving in. Like I mentioned, he's playing some good minutes in place of Day-Day Thomas. He just lost the handle on that. If he would have secured it, it would have been an easy 2 points, but regardless, the Bearcats will inbound it underneath the basket.
James, take the inbound. It looks...
They're stalling. They were trying to stall to get a look at their own replay to see if they should challenge it or not, but they did not get that off in time.
Here's Tillery, top of the key. Finds James, guarded by Heisey. Cham near the free throw, goes to Miller, taken away by Lipsey. 35-24 is the lead for the Bearcats. Foul called on Harris, and you can hear the boos. That may have looked like a flop. It's been back and forth between Lipsey and Harris, and I would say it's been called even. There's been some fouls here and there, but that one, I don't know what fully happened. It looks as Abaya will check in, Plato will check in for Buchanan, and
not at all. I don't think that's a foul. The way these two, they're very physical. The refs let it play on. It was the most marginal contact I think you can ever witness, and they're going to call a foul on that. I don't agree with that. Hey, ball doesn't lie though.
A 1-and-1 opportunity missed by Lipsey, and a jump ball. A foul will not be called, and will stay Iowa State ball. Cham went up for the rebound. Looked like he may have been pushed to the ground, and stay for Iowa State. 35-24, 2:25 to go. Abayev called for the foul, trying to get around Matelevic, and these refs are not having it.
No, they're not letting them play on. They're going to call every little thing that happens now. And, I mean, you may have your indifferences on what you believe, but in this kind of game, just let them play on. Come on.
Not the guy you want to send to the line, a 90% free throw shooter. He's 2 for 4 on the day. And you mentioned these are some of the worst free throw shooting teams in the entire Big 12. Matelevic knocks down both. Celestin will check in for the Bearcats, and Abayev will check out.
They are 15th and 16th. There are 16 teams in the Big 12, so these are the worst too, but hey.
Cincinnati shooting 50% from the charity stripe, and Cyclones are shooting 58. Miller finds Cham down low. The double team comes quick, and foul called on Heisey. Reach in. Cincinnati is not in the bonus.
Baba Miller's cutting behind Cham. I don't know if Cham wanted to go between his own legs, maybe?
On that pass?
It looked like it, but, he drew some contact. It honestly looked like he wanted to go between the legs and hit a backdoor cut to Baba Miller. That's honestly what it looked like.
Nate Heisey, who just got the foul, will be checked out. 2 fouls for him. Checks in Killian Torre. Here's James, 15 on the shot clock. Chom knocked down a 3 earlier. Can he do it again? No good. Here's Miller. Chase down the rebound is Chom. Miller thought about the corner 3, got Jefferson to bite. Gets plates on him. Tries to work down low. No travel is called, and here it is.
You know, there's contact there. Miller thought he got fouled. And his momentum was pushing him forward, which took an extra step, but the referees, they're going to say travel. But the Bearcats, 4 turnovers over the last 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
5 turnovers total in this game. You mentioned 4 of them coming in the last 2:30, and Cyclones have 7. Cincinnati is trying to close out this first half with a big lead. You need one in this game. Corner 3's up and good. Milan Matolovic got Bob Miller to jump, took a step over and knocked down the shot.
Told you, you have to stay on your feet. I know it's very intimidating with the best 3-point shooter in the country. When he pump fakes, you have to stay on your feet.
Here's James, Torre guarding him. Finds Miller in the corner. He tries to answer back with 3 of his own. No good. Chom comes down with the board. 1:12 to go in the first half. 35-29. Here's James, spins around Torre, gets Jefferson. James goes behind the back, step back, Jay, no good. Rebound by Tillery. He works down low, uses his shiftiness, finds Celestine in the corner for a 3. It's up, no good. Chases down his rebound. Still in play. 50 seconds to go. Here's Tillery, top of the 3, key, no good. Rebounded by Nelson.
They had their chances, a lot of good chances by Cincinnati. The pro, they're getting the offensive board, second chances. The con, they're not hitting the shots.
10 offensive rebounds for the Bearcats. 30 seconds to go. Matolovic tries to shake off Miller. Shot clock dips under 10. Gets the mismatch with James. 7 to go on the shot clock. Works down low. Fadeaway Jay is good. Timeout by the Cyclones. 18.5 to go in the first half. A 4-point lead for the Bearcats, which was once 11 and now cut down.
Well, the thing about Momcilovic, he's 6'8", 225. He's a big frame, but he moves like he's a 6'2" guard. And, you know, when you're backing down a 6'3" Jizzle James, you can kind of expect what's going to happen. Of course, the 6'8" guy, he's going to get his way, and he gets his way into the paint. A nice fadeaway from a couple feet out. It's an easy basket for him, but he's going to be the spark for this Iowa State offense is Milan Momcilovic. 8 points on the night already. Someone, like you mentioned, who averages 17. Once he gets going, it's going to be hard to stop him.
He was Big 12 freshman on the team last year in 2024. His career high of 29 that he had against FDU. So far tonight, 8 points. Not done much in any other statistic category, but 18.4 for the Bearcats. Miller, Thomas, Celestine, Sham, and James out there on the floor. Jefferson, Lipsy, Matolovic, Buchanan, and Torre for the Cyclones. 35-31, 15 seconds to go in the first half. What did Wes Miller draw up for the Bearcats? Torre on James, he attempts to get the steal. He'll stay with the Bearcats. 6.8 to go.
It's funny seeing this Iowa State bench just scramble to look at their computer to see if they need to replay this. Immediately, Alzberger was like, look at it. So he's going to send in a sub to try and stall more time. I don't think it was conclusive enough.
Nate Heisey checks in. Number 22, Milan Matolovic, checks out.
I wonder how that job is, honestly, to be the replay guy for your team.
You have to be able to look at everything so quickly.
I mean, they have a live feed right now on their computer, and they're still trying to stall, but I don't think there's nothing conclusive to show it.
6.8 to go in the first half. Thomas out there for the Bearcats.
Watch out.
Heisey guarding him. Double team comes. Thomas three's up. No good. Miller not able to get it, and the Bearcats go into halftime with a 4-point lead, 35-31. Jalen Celestine has been on a tear for the Bearcats. 9 points, 3 of 6 from behind the arc. But on the other side, Milan Matolovic, 8 points, and the Cyclones they look to bounce back after the loss against Kansas, almost a 20-point loss in that game, and only down 4 against one of the strongest defensive teams in the nation.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen what has happened of Iowa State in the recent second halves. They come out throwing haymakers. For Cincinnati, you know, we talk about closing out games, but they did not close out that half right. How about a scoring drought? 3 minutes and 6 seconds. It's timely baskets. It's those scoring droughts are so timely. You know, you're up by 8, timeout, 3.5 minutes left to go, and you allow a 7-0 run. And now you're still up by 4. It's, you know, it's a good first half for Cincinnati, but it could have been so much more better.
It could have been for sure. Cincinnati, we talked about, they want that momentum going into halftime. You've now shifted over to the away team, the second-ranked team in the nation. Cincinnati's still seeking a ranked win. They have one Power 4 win against Colorado, and that's a very young team overall.
Yeah.
They had a lot of freshmen, sophomores who haven't had that experience. They won 12 games prior to their first loss against Cincinnati in a long time. And for Cincinnati, they go into halftime with a 4-point lead. We'll take a short break here. Christian Pagan with KC Stevens here in Fifth Third Arena. Your score is 35-31. And once we go to break, we will not have any sound here on Bearcast Radio, so be aware of that. But we will be back shortly in roughly about 10 minutes here on Bearcast Sports Radio.
And welcome back to Fifth Third Arena. Second half of action about to begin momentarily between the second-ranked Iowa State Cyclones and your Cincinnati Bearcats here on Bearcat Sports Radio. Welcome back. I'm Christian McGowan. Joining me today is Casey Stevens. Bearcats up 35-31 over the number 2 team in the country. Some may view that as a shock, but as commentators who've been studying this game, we know the defenses are very elite, and Cincinnati's defense, that's been one of the key factors in this game, limiting that Iowa State offense. But also, how about the Cincinnati three-point shooting, something that really caught us by surprise. At one point, they were 5 of 11 from deep. They did finish a half 6 of 20, but it shows you glimpses of what this offense is capable of doing.
Well, they did start off hot. Jalen Celestin, he came down the first 3 possessions of Cincinnati, knocked one down in the corner, gets a steal, works his way at the top of the key on the fast break, knocks it down again. Since then, defense for the Cyclones, it stepped up. You've noticed more double teams anytime someone has the ball, which is forcing the guards and Thomas or James to look up, go quicker. And you mentioned in the first half the time of possession too, that 17.9 seconds amount of time that teams take to get a shot up. And now Cincinnati was playing that, I would say, first maybe 12 minutes at their own pace. When that 8-minute timeout happened, it felt like the Cyclones flipped the switch. They felt almost unstoppable at some points.
To end the first half, let's take a look at our game stats. Iowa State, 46% from the floor, shooting 11 of 24. 2 of 8 from deep, that's 25%. A team that is first in the Big 12 in three-point percentage at 40%, 7 of 12 from the free throw line. For Cincinnati, 13 of 37 from the field, 6 of 20 from deep, and 3 of 6 from the charity stripe. Bearcats will begin the ball to start off the second half wearing their all-white uniforms. It will be Day Thomas, Jizzle James, Mustafa Chan, Baba Miller, and Sincere Harris. For the Cyclones in their all-yellow/gold uniforms, it's Joshua Jefferson, Milan Momcilovic, Blake Buchanan, Taman Lipsy, and Keelan Torre. Here come the Bearcats to start off the second half. Jizzle James at the left wing, and immediately a foul is called against Keelan Torre. That is his first of the game, and 4 seconds in.
It's interesting, too. The defense, Torre, we consistently also see Lipsy guard the person who has the ball. They'll call it. They'll be like, all right, this is my guy. And Lipsy got chippy with Harris. We saw that in the first half, and it caused a few turnovers and fouls between the two of them.
Miller has it at the left wing, guarded by Jefferson, a few steps off. Miller transitions to the right wing, tried to find Day Thomas, but it's poked out of bounds by Milan Momcilovic with 16 left on the shot clock.
Momcilovic and active. He had his head turned, and Miller just pretty much laid up an easy steal trying to get to Thomas and just getting his hand in the pass lane.
Thomas inbounds to the Jizzle James at the left wing. Thomas, a right wing three-pointer, no good off the front iron. Rebound by Taman Lipsy. Here come the Cyclones. 19:35 remains in the second half. Iowa State down by 4. Jefferson has it at the right elbow, who gives it off to Momcilovic at the left. Block goes off the glass, but a foul is called. And if that's on Sincere Harris, that is his 3rd foul. Harris had a little bit of foul trouble early on in the season. But if that is his 3rd foul, which it is, then you're going to have to think about a replacement for him and maybe some restricted minutes. More importantly, it's a shooting foul, so Momcilovic will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws. First one is up, and it's nothing but net for Momcilovic. He is 4 of 6 from the line today. That is his 9th point. Cyclones down by 3. And here comes Jalen Celestin to check in for Sincere Harris. Les Miller going quick to the bench to get Harris out of there with 3 fouls.
And we saw Cincinnati in that bench depth. Tyler McKinley took that hard fall earlier. Saw him just come out of the locker room now when Momcilovic knocks down the second shot. And that hard fall, you have to wonder how much depth was Les Miller really go to. Shanabayev and Keyshawn Tillery have only combined for 11 minutes played in this game.
Here's Jizzle James straight away, swings it off to Celestin at the right wing, who dribbles it or bounce pass to Miller. Short corner, swings it across the court. Thomas three-pointer, yes! Day Thomas, 8 points in this game. Bearcats up 38-33, 19 minutes even remains.
What a pass. Baba Miller double-teamed in the corner, zipped it around 2 defenders and finds Thomas in the corner.
Momcilovic can respond with a 3 of his own. Cyclones down by 2. That's 13 for Momcilovic. Here come the Bearcats. Day Thomas has it at the right wing, slips by short corner. Another corner pass, this time Jizzle James in the far corner. Mid-range jumper's up, can't get it to fall, and it's rebounded by Buchanan. Here comes Iowa State, led by Taman Lipsy, who gives it to Momcilovic, driving in with the head of steam at the left block. Picks up his dribble, he's guarded by Celestine. Finds Buchanan, who gives it up top at the City Paul logo to Lipsy at the left wing. Lipsy has it, gives it Jefferson. Driving in left side, gets to a spot off the glass is good, and we are tied in Cincinnati, 38 apiece. Bearcats go quick. Mustafa Cham near the left elbow, has it guarded by Buchanan, who gives it to Baba Miller at the right elbow. And this one will go out of bounds, a turnover on the Bearcats.
They may want to review that. It looked like it may have gotten tipped.
Well, the initial signal, they're saying deflection. The referee's saying that, and now he's saying Cincinnati ball. Originally, he pointed that it was Iowa State's possession, but they have a little discussion, and the Bearcats will inbound it in front of their own bench. It'll be Jalen Celestine, 17:58. We're tied at 38 here at Fifth Third Arena in Cincinnati, Ohio. James has it straight away, gets a screen by Miller, gets another one. Finds Miller at the right elbow, he's double teamed. Celestine gets it, but a foul is called. Let's see, this is on Momcilovic. That is his first foul of the game. Second team foul in this half for Iowa State. Bearcats will inbound at 17:47 in the second half.
And you can tell that halftime, the Cyclones are playing with a lot faster pace, and Cincinnati's having to keep up, and for them to now try and go at their own pace is forcing the Cyclones to take a deep breath and catch up.
It's a lot more urgency for Iowa State. 7 left on the shot clock. Celestine has it near corner, goes baseline, swings off Baba Miller, three-pointer right wing, and it rattles in! Baba Miller, 6 points today. Cats retake the lead. 41-38, 17:20 remains.
Ball, basketball. He gets it.
And I got hit by a t-shirt by one of the staffers, but a foul goes against Cincinnati. Where did that t-shirt go?
I saw that thing coming up here, and I had to duck out of the way.
And it's a steal by Day Thomas. Fast break with the left hand, gets it to fall. 10 points for Day Thomas, Cats up 43-38. Here comes that crowd cheering on the Bearcats. Lipsy drives in, far side, swings it off. In the corner, it's Jefferson. Penetrates inside, can't get the foul, but a foul is called against Mustafa Cham.
Notice that shift in defense, too. Cincinnati just able to work their defenders. The drive in on that left side, feed into the corner. A shift from Thomas. Miller came in, and then you have Jefferson who just drives to the lane. Cham, it looked like from my angle, he may have gotten ball from the referee's angle. Got hit slightly, but sending Jefferson to the line. 7 points, 7 rebounds for him, looking for 8 and 9 here, facing the Cincinnati student section.
Joshua Jefferson. First free throw is good, 8 points for him. That's the second foul on Mustafa Cham, who will come out for Tyler McKinley. Looking at Joshua Jefferson, he is the first player in program history to be from Nevada. He scored double digits in every single game this season. So far, he's at 8, looking for 9 with the second free throw. He releases, and it falls in. So he goes 2-2 from the line. Cyclones down 40-43, 16:49 remains in this second half. Here's Jizzle James at the C. Paul logo, guarded by Torrey, who gives it off to Baba Miller at the left wing. Miller dribbles, has it straight away, picks it up, finds Day Thomas, pump fakes at the right wing, thought about it, guarded by Momcilovic, goes behind the back, pull-up jumper, yes sir! Day Thomas starting to cook up, that's 12 points for him, Cats up by 5. Here comes Iowa State. It's Lipsy at the left wing, goes underneath to Jefferson, guarded by Day Thomas. It's a mismatch at the left block. Jefferson penetrates inside floater. It's nothing but net for Joshua Jefferson. That streak continues, 11 points for him.
Jefferson's the guy for the Cyclones that you want to heat up. He's your leading scorer throughout the entire season.
James pull-up jumper, and that falls in. 7 points for Jizzle James. Cats up 47-42. 16 minutes even left to go in the second half. Bearcats have made their last 4 shots. Can they continue that streak and upset the number 2 team in the country? Lipsy dancing around, goes inside, goes to Buchanan. No good, but a foul is called on McKinley, who made the contest. So after this media timeout, Buchanan will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws. KC, we're going to do some trivia, okay? Today, the Cincinnati Bearcats are playing the number 2 team in the land, Iowa State. Their next matchup will be against number 1, Arizona, on the 21st of January. Can you tell me, which we'll reveal the answer after the break, when is the last time a team has played the AP number 1 and number 2 teams in consecutive games?
Can I get a hint? Or am I going, can I
It's
get
actually,
the conference?
It's actually fairly recent, believe it or
Really?
not.
Is it an SEC school?
Yes.
Ooh.
But it was at an invitational in Mali. So I'll let you think about that. It's fairly recent. The question once again, when is the last time a team has played the AP number 1 and number 2 teams in consecutive games? We'll have the answer after this. Welcome back here to Fifth Third Arena. Bearcats up 47-42, 15:45 left to go. The answer to the trivia question, KC, do you have a guess?
I want to say it's an SEC team. I want to say back in, you said maybe 2023, 2024. I'm going to go with Dalton Connect's Tennessee Bulls.
That's correct. At the Maui Invitational, they played number 2 Purdue and then number 1 Kansas. That was the first recurrence since January of 1972 of a team facing the AP's top 2 teams. The only difference, those were on consecutive days because they're invitationals. The Bearcats have some time off to regroup, regather because they are in conference play. But quite a stretch of basketball they have upcoming. Here at the line, it's Buchanan. His first free throw is up, and it's off the back iron. No good. Cyclones down by 5. Buchanan's actually a transfer from Virginia. Spent a couple of years with the Cavaliers, appearing in 66 games across 2 seasons. He's the second player from Idaho in program history, and he goes 0-2 from the line. Here comes Cincinnati, up by 5, 15:39 left to go. Jizzle James has it, finds Thomas in the near corner, try to pass it, and let's see what this call is, and I think it's a turnover on Cincinnati.
Got to mention the free throw shooting. You're so used to watching Cincinnati miss free throws, and then when another team that's almost as bad at shooting at the charity stripe comes in, it's almost a sigh of relief of, oh, it's not just Cincinnati.
There's a foul on Jizzle James as Buchanan tried to hit Nate Heisey inside the paint. So that's going to be James's second foul. Cyclones will inbound it underneath their own basket. It'll be Taman Lipsy, who gives it off to Heisey, straight away, swings it off to Jefferson. Jefferson finds Momcilovic, dancing around, picks up his dribble, finds Lipsy, guarded by Day Thomas. Lipsy transitions straight away, lets one go. It takes a deflection. The ball is sailing in the air, picked up by the Bearcats. Celestine has it, going the other way, finds James at the left wing, who finds McKinley straight away. McKinley picks up his dribble, bounces it to Baba Miller from the Bearcat bench. Cross-court pass, Celestine, corner three, butter! Celestine, 12 points, 4 threes for the big man. Cats up by 8, 50-42.
Jalen Celestine, he hasn't been this fire from behind the arc since the West Virginia game where he went 5 of 8.
Momcilovic has it, guarded by McKinley. 12 left in the shot clock, picks up his dribble, swings it off to Lipsy. Lipsy guarded by Thomas, pull-up jumper from the free throw line, can't fall, but it's rebounded by Buchanan, and he lost it. Here comes Shizzle James, has it, and it's stolen, or at least deflected by Lipsy. Thomas has it, finds James in the near corner. Working on Momcilovic, 14-20 left to go, Cats up by 8. James drives in near side, pulls it out, gives it off to Thomas. Thomas inside, Celestine bounce pass to McKinley, double, fakes it, and goes off the glass with the left. 4 points from McKinley, Bearcats have a 10-point lead. And listen to this crowd.
This is the loudest Fifth Third Arena has been in a long time. Cincinnati fans are getting what they paid for. The number 2 ranked team in the nation comes in, and they're a little shook with the Cincinnati team that struggled all year long.
That timeout is taken by Iowa State. The Bearcats on a 7-0 run over the last 2 minutes and 5 seconds. They've made their last 6 field goals as well. We talked about it, Casey. This is a second half team for Iowa State. They did struggle in the first half a little bit, but so far it's been the Bearcats coming out on top with the energy.
It has been, and you're feeding off the crowd. If you get your entire stadium to stand up and be behind you, that just feeds into your players. And for Cincinnati, it hasn't felt like this since those non-conference games. You struggled in those too. You played Louisville, not even at home. You played across maybe a 10-minute drive from here. You lose that game, and then the question started to rise, is the Cincinnati team a real team? Are they capable of competing in the Big 12 overall? And then you go and play Clemson. That game was such a fun watch. Sitting at home, Cincinnati went down 30 points. They fought back. It ended a loss, but it was such a close game, and you're like, oh, maybe this is a real team. Maybe this team can finally compete. Then you go into your Big 12 play. You lose against Houston, a 7-point game. There's 2 points going into halftime. West Virginia, UCF, those two. Sincere Harris going on the road to West Virginia. Mustafa Sham going on the road into Orlando. And now you're here in Fifth Third Arena where Cincinnati, they're leading 10, 52-42 against the second-ranked team in the nation.
Let me tell you, Casey, the capacity here at Fifth Third Arena is 12,012 and 0 to Oscar Robinson. Against Colorado, the attendance was 9,300. We know how the fan base has been here with this team. Very disappointed at the recent results and head coach Wes Miller, but let me tell you, it does not look like there are 9,000 people here. How about more? This looks closer to a sellout, and this is a sight that we are used to seeing where the joy for Cincinnati basketball is there and live inside Fifth Third Arena and also around the city.
The expectation is excellence. That's been preached by Wes Miller, and he knows it. He's coaching this team tonight. 14 minutes left to play, 52-42, 10-point lead. Cincinnati faithful, they're behind their Bearcats tonight.
Looking at Cincinnati, they've lost their last 7 against ranked teams. The last win against a ranked team, you got to go back to December 20th, 2024. They beat the 22nd ranked Dayton Flyers 66-59. Looking to end that streak today against Iowa State, number 2 in the land. Jefferson powers his way inside, and he can't get it to fall. Rebounded by Day Thomas. Cats up by 10. Celestine, oh, does he dare? Oh, he can't get the fall. McKinley tried to get the board off his hands and out of play. Cyclones possession.
It's that quick shot. You have it, you're feeling it. It was a heat check.
And great defense by the Bearcats and Day Thomas. He has it at the right wing. Bearcats get it right back. Thomas, mid-range jumper. Yes, sir. Day Thomas, he's got 14, and the Cats are up by 12.
Day Thomas got the steal. And he's able to just feed himself and knocks down the mid-range J.
13:20 left to go in this game. Heisey has it, swings it off. This is Bateman, and a foul is called against Day Thomas. That is his third of the game. And good for Iowa State. Jamarion Bateman is back in the game. We saw he took a big fall in that first half and was hurt. But here comes Keyshawn Tillery and Mustafa Cham in place of McKinley and Day Thomas. I talked about it. Keyshawn Tillery had a lot of good minutes in that first half.
Yeah, Tillery not known to play that long, 12 minutes in that first half, but he proved that he's able to score.
Good defense by the Bearcats. It's stolen by James. Here comes Tillery. Fast break for Cincinnati. Bounce pass. James, far side, goes to the floater, and he gets it to fall. 9 points for Jizzle James. Cats up by 14. 56-42. 12:57 left to go. And the crowd is on their feet. Jefferson inside. Can't get it, but a foul is called. Foul is called on Cincinnati. That is against Celestine. For Celestine, that is his first. But a 13-2 run for Cincinnati over the last 3 minutes and 43 seconds. So Jefferson will go to the line once again. He has 11 points today. Can't get the free throw to fall. A scoring drought of 3 minutes and 28 seconds for the Cyclones.
I was going to say, going back to that shot by Jizzle James, that's what Cincinnati's been missing. James dismissed from the team earlier in the summer, came back. Wes Miller knew he had that in the back pocket for this Bearcats team, and he's using it. James, 9 points this game, Celestine 12. Those two have led Cincinnati to their 13-point lead, 56-43 in the second half.
Jefferson made the second free throw. Here's Baba Miller for Cincinnati in the near corner. Baba swings it over to Jizzle James at the left wing, guarded by Torrey. James pushes inside, gives it off. It's poked up by Cham, but he gets it back. 5 left on the shot clock. Cham, and he threw it away. It's stolen by Nate Heisey. Jefferson. Bateman, wide open three. Can't get it, but it's rebounded by Jefferson, who's guarded by Celestine in the short corner, far side. Biting his way into the paint, goes off the glass, but a foul is called on Celestine once again.
Jalen Celestine looked like he had his hand straight up. Jefferson just trying to draw contact, and when you're that big, you're 6'9", I believe, 240 pounds going against Jalen Celestine, who stands at 6'7", 220. That extra 20 pounds is going to come into handy if you need to get down low.
Well, Jefferson goes to the free throw line once again, gets the first one to fall. He has 13 for Iowa State. Sensor Harris checks in for Baba Miller. Bearcats will opt for a more smaller lineup. Jefferson, 6 for his last 23 from deep. It's across 7 games, but he knocks down both free throws. Cyclones down by 11, 56-45. 12-11 left to go in the game, as Jefferson will check out.
Oh, it's a big surprise too, Chris. Cincinnati, they've struggled on those Big 12 games, and it's Big 12 basketball. It's the best conference for basketball overall. You have your Kansas, Houston, now Iowa State, and for Cincinnati, they need a big win if they want to make that push to the tournament.
Under 12 left to go. Bearcats up by 11. Celestine has it. Step back three. Can't get it. Rebounded by Harris off the glass. That one doesn't roll in, but a foul is called. It will be 2 shots. We'll see who the foul is committed on. But regardless, after this media timeout, Cincinnati will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws. Up by 11. Can they do it, Casey? Up by 11 on the number 2 team in the country. Looking at Cincinnati against AP number 2 teams all time. Bearcats 2-14. Wow. It's not often you play a number 2 team though, but 2-14 against the AP number 2 all time. This also does include, for my older Bearcat fans that may be listening, the stall game of 1983. The Bearcats lost this game 24-11 against Kentucky.
24-11.
24-11 in 1983.
Are we playing plumbers or?
No, the Bearcats' only way they thought they could win that game against a great Kentucky team was just a stall. And back then, there's no shot clock. You can stall as long as you want. And the Kentucky coach at the time was very upset. He didn't want it to play that way either, but he apologized to every fan that attended that game for a whopping 24-11 thriller in 1983.
That's wild.
But here we've hit a media timeout in Cincinnati. Bearcats up 56-45, 11:50 left to go. You're listening to Bearcat Sports Radio. Bearcats up 56-45 inside an electric Fifth Third arena. Casey, just talking to you now, looking at the previous Bearcat teams, we talked about their identity. It's to own the glass. They've been one of the best rebounding teams in the past couple of years, but this year that's not been the story. But today it's a little different. 27 rebounds, 11 offensive.
11 offensive rebounds, and for Sincere Harris, too. He's going down after a miss, grabbing the 11th offensive rebound and drawing the foul to go to the line. And for Iowa State, they need to not let that happen. 6 opportunities for second chance points. And if you're allowing Cincinnati to get those offensive rebounds, that's 11 second chance points. That's almost 22 points if you really want it, maybe even 33 if you go all threes. But rebounding needs to be the big difference, and it has been. And also the passing, too, Chris. 13 assists to just the 5 that Iowa State has.
Well, Sincere Harris is at the free throw line. First one is up, and it falls in for Harris. 3 points for him. Sincere Harris not having exactly the best offensive start to conference play. He's just shooting 28% from the floor coming into this game, but he goes 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Cats up 58-45, 11:47 left to go. Heisey, guarded by Harris, gives it to Buchanan, looking for Momcilovic, couldn't get it, spins to his right at the right elbow, finds Torre at the right wing. Back to Buchanan, inside off the glass, no good. That was a wild shot. Here comes Harris for Cincinnati, gives it off in the corner, a three-pointer by James, no good, poked out. Tillery gets it inside the short corner to Sincere Harris, swings it, Celestine, three-pointer, can't get it to fall, it hit the back iron. Here comes Lipsy for the Cyclones, one-on-one, he lost the ball, but a foul is gonna go against Keyshawn Tillery. And just listen to the crowd's reaction on how they viewed that call.
If you're a Cincinnati fan, you're lucky that it's on Tillery and not Harris. Tillery is very active as well. Harris is your guy who can keep pace as much as you need to.
Lipsy at the free throw line, miss it short in the first. Already, it's a bonus for Iowa State. Already, and there's 11:14 left to go in the game.
That's wild.
It's unbelievable, honestly. Here's Lipsy once again, and it rolls out, so ball does not lie. Lipsy goes 0-2 from the line. Here comes Day Thomas and marched it up the court for Cincinnati. Gives it off to Harris at the C Ball logo. Harris transitions to his right, finds Thomas in front of the Bearcat bench. Harris, guarded by Momcilovic, has it straight away, 10 left on the shot clock, finds Thomas. Left wing three-pointer, can't get it to fall, and it's rebounded by Torre.
For Cincinnati, they need to find the smarter shots. Don't work on the arc. You're shooting 31%, but go try and work down low.
Buchanan tried to go inside the paint. Doesn't go, but a foul is on Torre. Or they say travel, okay. It thought that Keyshawn Tillery fouled Torre, but the referee says travel. But how about this for Iowa State? No field goals over the last 5 minutes and 42 seconds.
Wow. For Cincinnati, their defense has been stellar too, Chris. And overall, the entire season, it's been up and down, but you got to go back to November 16th was the last time they only allowed a team to score 55 points. It's 58-45 right now.
This pass goes off a high Ziada play. Bearcats will still inbound it, up by 13, 10-28 left to go. Do we have an upset brewing here in Clifton? Harris inbound it, gives it off to Tillery straight away at the C-Paul logo, guarded by Lipsy. Bounce pass to Harris at the far wing, swing it up top to Tillery once again. Tillery, 10 left on the shot clock, gives it to Miller, far corner, short. Baseline, throws it out of play. The Bearcats will inbound it with 7 left on the shot clock. Let's see what they can draw up here. Not much time to operate. It will be Harris inbound it underneath the basket. Harris looking, gives it to Thomas, far corner. Pull up jumper, left elbow, can't get it to fall, and it's rebounded by Lipsy. Lipsy to Nelson, who just checked in, goes inside the paint, blocked away by Miller, but it's right to Momcilovic. They swing it around. Jefferson at the left wing, guarded by Tillery. Momcilovic, a deep three, no good. Secured by Baba Miller. Here comes Cincinnati, up by 13, under 10 to go. Harris, nice move, layup, and it falls in. 6 points for Sincere Harris, Cats up by 15, 60-45. Momcilovic goes in on the right side to the block, guarded by Miller, off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Sincere Harris. Here come the Bearcats. Harris, nice move, lost it, gets it back, and a foul is called on the Cyclones. Iowa State has missed their last 9 shots. Their offense has hit a wall here in Cincinnati.
The wall. That is Baba Miller. We haven't seen many blocks this game. 3 blocks for the Bearcats. They averaged 5 throughout the season. Baba Miller, he is that anchor on defense. Sincere Harris, he got shifty. He got that in and out crossover, worked his way down low.
Inside pass to Harris. It falls in off the glass. Bearcats up by 17. Iowa State in the second half, 3 of 12 from the floor. Harris smacks the court. They can feel it as he's pressing Lipsy. Lipsy to Jefferson at the right wing, guarded by McKinley. Jefferson inside, off the glass, too much. Fight for it, Buchanan gets it. Momcilovic, a three-pointer, knocks it down. That silences the crowd, and it's 16 for Momcilovic. Cyclones down by 14, 8:45 left to go. That clock is ticking down, and it's not on their side.
I gotta say, I get goosebumps. You hear everyone's on their feet, they're clapping their hands, they're cheering on the Bearcats, and you just feel the energy.
Bearcats slowing it down. Harris to Miller inside, swings it off. Poked out, 6 left on the shot clock. Tillery gets it off. Day Thomas, pump fake, step back, three-pointer. Can't get it, rebounded by Miller. Miller inside, off the glass, yes! 8 points for Baba Miller. That lead is back up to 16, 64-48, 8:07 left to go. The fans get on their feet. They can start to feel it a little bit now. Jefferson spins inside, nope, poked out, but it's secured by Jefferson. He spins once again, high arcing, and that one falls in. For Joshua Jefferson, 16 points for him. On the other end, it's Sincere Harris for Cincinnati. Cyclones down by 14. Day Thomas at the 5th-3rd logo at the right wing, stalling and wasting some time. Cyclones in a 2-3 zone. Thomas, right wing, three-pointer, yes! 17 for Day Thomas. It's a 17-point lead for Cincinnati.
If Cincinnati scores anymore, I think the roof will come off of 5th-3rd Arena. It is so loud in Cincinnati right now.
Jefferson pump fakes, Momcilovic corner 3, knocks it down. Let me tell you, Casey, these Cyclones just don't go away. It's 19 for Momcilovic. The deficit is down to 14, but they're going to need a little more help the way this Cincinnati offense is playing. 7 minutes even left to go. Tillery has it at the left wing, guarded by Jefferson, who gives it to Miller. Miller at the free throw line, goes left side, picks up his dribble, swings it off. Harris, a corner 3, no good, rebounded by Lipsy. Here comes Iowa State. It's Lipsy at the other end. who finds Momcilovic dancing around straight away, tries to draw the contact, can't get it, the fall, but it's a 3-point foul. Or at least Momcilovic will shoot 3 at the line after this media timeout. Bearcats up 67-53. 6:34 left to go. This game is so long from over, I feel like, Casey. There's still a lot of ball yet to be played.
There definitely is, and it's interesting. 7 players for Iowa State have scored, 8 players for Cincinnati have scored, and it's not your typical players for either team. Other than for Iowa State, you're now having Momcilovic come in and get 19, 4 of 7 from behind the arc. Jefferson, he's not shot the best either. He's 4 of 11 from the field, but 8 points from the line. And for Cincinnati, Dede Thomas, 17 points. He has not hit the 20 mark in a long time. Last time against NIJT, I believe. I'll let you double check me, but I'm pretty sure. You're my numbers guy over there, but
Analytics.
And Jalen Celestine, most threes attempted since Western Virginia. He attempted 9 over there. Today he's attempted 10, and Jizzle James, 9 points as well. But you're having some unsung heroes score. Sincere Harris, 8 points. Baba Miller has been silent. Mustafa Cham has also been silent. And Cincinnati, they're relying on everyone for this game, and that's the game plan. If you're in the game, we need you to score.
How about this in the second half? The Bearcats are shooting 13 of 23 from the floor. That's 57%. Iowa State, 6 of 17, 35%. We talked about it. Usually, Iowa State, they are a good second half team after some first half struggles. But I think it's safe to say they haven't played a defense like Cincinnati's. It's just been a completely different story for Iowa State, and this Cincinnati defense, they've been the star of the game.
They definitely have been, and if you look at the past games that Iowa State has played, St. John ranked 14th, Creighton, they're one of the top teams throughout the entire year. Purdue, the #1 ranked team, they dismantled them, 81-58. You play Iowa, that's your closest game all season long, where you only win by 4. And then obviously you have your Kansas game, which is your outlier. But could this be Cincinnati's biggest game all season? Are they gonna prove their doubters wrong? Or is Iowa State gonna find a comeback like Colorado has done, like West Virginia, UCF? That's the biggest question. Will the coaching for Wes Miller be here in the final 6:34 of the second half?
Bearcats up by 14. It will be Momcilovic to go to the line. Remember, he got fouled on a 3-point attempt. Today, Momcilovic, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Scratch that, actually, our stats are broken, it looks like, so we're gonna go off our visuals and what we have as Momcilovic knocks down the first free throw. That makes him a 20-point scorer in this ballgame. Momcilovic, let's go with the second one, knocks it down. Looking at Momcilovic, he's having a career year. His points in all shooting splits are at career best. Double-digit scoring efforts now 16 of 18 games this season. He knocks down all 3 free throws. He has 22. Cyclones down 56-67. Tillery checks out. Insert Jalen Celestine for Cincinnati. James recovers the inbound pass, crosses the C. Paul logo. Guarded by Torre. Bearcats are trying to milk this clock, taking some time. James still has it, dancing around the left wing. Gets a screen by Cham. Now he transitions to the right wing. A lot of time coming off. 9 left on the shot clock. James goes with the floater right side. Off the glass and in. 11 points for Jizzle James. Bearcats up 69-56.
Jizzle James getting to a spot on the floor, finding the mismatch.
It's stolen. Sincere Harris. The runway is open, and he can't throw it down. Oh, my goodness. He missed the two-handed jam. Here's Heisey. Other end goes inside. Blocked away by Harris. He made up for it, okay?
He made up for it. After that miss, he was smiling, too. He chased down from one coast to the other, comes up with the swat. And he's got to be careful, too. He's had 3 fouls. He can't be doing that all the time.
5:50 left to go. Bearcats up by 13. Momcilovic, left wing, has it. Guarded by Miller. Lets it go from the corner. Yes! 25 from Momcilovic, and it's now a 10-point game. Cyclones not going down without a fight. They are the #2 team of the nation, 16-1. If they lose this one to Cincinnati, it's back-to-back losses for Iowa State. James has it the right wing, stolen away by Torrey. He lobs it ahead to Heisey, all by himself. Layup is good, and it's now an 8-point game. Timeout taken by Coach Wes Miller of Cincinnati. 69-61, 5:17 left to go in this game. Iowa State has made 4 of their last 5 shots. We talked about it. There's a lot of ball game left.
There's a lot of ball game, and the difference for Cincinnati is Day-Day Thomas has 4 fouls. He had 5 points in the first half. He's scored 12 this half for Cincinnati, and when you have that missing, it causes your players like Keyshawn Tillery to step up, and he's getting a lot more minutes. Jalen Celestine, he's been cold from the 3, shooting 4 of 10, and we haven't seen much of Sean Abayev, who hasn't checked in much, and Tyler McKinley. And it doesn't surprise me. Sean Abayev is your offensive guy, and Tyler McKinley's more of your defensive guy. They'll swap roles anytime the game gets close. And one thing that I want to mention is you talked about slowing down the pace. They had so much time on the clock, and don't do that. If you have momentum, if you have speed, keep going with it. Go get to your spots. Continue to get your point totals up. Don't allow Iowa State to go at their own pace. Force them to mess up. Make them go quick and use your speed like Sincere Harris did for your advantage so you can work up on your defensive side and capitalize on offense.
Exactly. I totally agree. They should continue with their pace. There's no reason to slow it down. I understand why, but at this point in the game, just continue to push on the gas pedal. Day-Day Thomas checks back in. You mentioned Casey. He has 4 fouls. Has to play it safe. Once again, they're going a little more passive. Thomas at the right wing finds Baba Miller straight away. Thought about it. Who swings it off the Jizzle James back out the Miller. Wide open three-pointer. Can't get it. And there's a foul, and it's going to be on the court against Iowa State. That's not enough. That's their 5th team foul, so it's not enough for the bonus. Iowa State, they are in the double bonus. They've been in the bonus for, let's see,
Feels like
last
almost,
5 minutes.
Yeah, almost the entire second half, it feels like, with how many fouls Cincinnati has.
So let's see, Taman Lipsy will check in for Keelan Torrey. 4:55 left to go. Bearcats up by 8, 69-61. Jizzle James the inbound it underneath the basket. Finds Thomas in the corner. Thomas lost his footing, and it's a steal. He threw it away. Heisey has it for the Cyclones, who gets it off to Lipsy straight away. Lipsy transitions to the left wing, guarded by Jizzle James, who finds Jefferson. Momcilovic, step back 3 is up, and he knocks it down. 28 for Momcilovic. It's a 5-point deficit for the Cyclones. A 14-2 run over the last 2 minutes and 45 seconds for Iowa State.
He's been their full offense in the second half. Almost silent in the first, but Cincinnati, no answers yet.
Celestine in the corner, goes underneath the Chum. They bring the double. Chum goes inside, off the glass. Nope. Fight for the rebound. Miller gets it, swings it up top to Jizzle James at the left wing. 4 minutes even left to go. Bearcats up by 5. Thomas, pump fakes. 3-pointer is up, and it's in and out, poked out, and it's going to be secured by Jizzle James. Shot clock resets back up to 20. 3:50 left to go. Bearcats up by 5. James at the C. Paul logo. They're actually going to reset it back up to 30, believe it or not. James, he's double teamed, finds Miller straight away. Miller, the Thomas, pump fakes, and the foul goes against Heisey. It's the under 4-minute mark media timeout. Bearcats up 69-64. 3:38 left to go. The Bearcats are looking for the 10th win of the season, and arguably the most impressive if they can knock off #2 Iowa State. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to Cincinnati. Bearcats up 69-64, 3:38 left to go in this ball game. The last time UC beat an AP top 5 opponent, you got to go back to March 9th of 2012. They beat number 2 Syracuse 71-68 in the Big East tournament. The last time they beat an AP top 5 team at home, you got to go back to 2003. They beat number 4 Louisville. KC, I wasn't even born yet in 2003.
I wasn't either, and Chris, with the way Cincinnati's been playing in this last, you could say 8 minutes, they need to step up. You're allowing a 14-2 run over the past 3:30, and just the lack of offensive movement. You have Mustafa Cham, who's not the best passer. He's getting double teamed. He's 7'2". Move without the ball if you're on offense in Cincinnati. Day Thomas has had some great cuts, just not able to capitalize. And on defense, work with your screens. If you have someone who's screening on Iowa State, they've done a great job at this. Screen, step back, get the ball, open 3 almost every single time. For Cincinnati, work with your bigs. If Baba Miller cannot guard Mutalovic, find someone who can. Have someone who's almost the same size. Put in someone who's maybe like Sincere Harris, who can stay with them, go over the screens and still fight through and maybe draw the foul. With this close of a game, 3 minutes left to play. Cincinnati was up 17 at one point. It's now a 5-point game.
It's been Momcilovic for Iowa State. He has 20 points, including 5 threes in this second half. Bearcats inbound to Baba Miller straight away, up by 5. 3:33 left to go in the game. Miller at the short corner, swings it off, and it's stolen. At least intercepted by Heinze, but he falls out of bounds, so the Bearcats will get it right back. You can kind of just feel it, a few anxious feelings inside Fifth Third Arena. Like you mentioned, the Bearcats had a big lead, but the Cyclones have been slowly chipping away. Here's Day Thomas, has it straight away, guarded by Buchanan. 5 left in the shot clock, behind the back, pull-up jumper from the free throw line, and it's money for Day Thomas. 19 on the night for him, Bearcats up by 7. This crowd is alive once again. Heinze has it, picks up his dribble, finds Lipsy. Momcilovic, another 3, that one is short, and it's secured by Day Thomas. 3 minutes left to go, Cats up 71-64. Looking for their 10th win of the season, looking to take down the number 2 team in the land. James at the right wing, guarded by Jefferson, who gives it off to Baba Miller, back out to James. 10 left on the shot clock. James, pull-up jumper, yes! Back-to-back buckets from Thomas and James. The Cats up by 9.
That is what Cincinnati needed. They needed those back-to-back buckets. Get momentum back on your side.
It's a bad pass. It's poked out by James. Out of play. The Cyclones will still have possession. 2:24 left to go. Cyclones down by 9. Sincere Harris checks in for Jalen Celesti.
And Chris, it's a game of runs. Cincinnati went on a 3-minute scoring drought. Iowa State on a 2-minute scoring drought.
Momcilovic, corner 3, no good. Fight for the board. It's secured by Jefferson. He's out of bounds. He fought with Day Thomas. Both players are shaken up, and Jefferson does not agree with that call. From our vantage point, the extension of the hoop blocked our view, but the referees say Cincinnati ball. 2:15 remains. Bearcats up by 9. And coach,
they're going to challenge it.
Otzelberger's going to challenge. He is 1 for 1 on challenges this year. We're going to see whether Jefferson or Day Thomas touched the ball last as it went out of play. This is a monumental call. The Cyclones down by 9 as we take a look at the replay on the Jumbotron.
Looks like it may be out on Day Thomas at the end. But Jefferson, he had his hands on it going down. It's hard to tell from definitely where we're sitting, but.
Well, the call on the floor was Cincinnati ball. Keep that in mind. This is going to be a very, very important call. Cyclones down by 9. They could use this possession. But the Bearcats looking for some magic in this season, one that's been filled with so many ups and downs. How much relief would head coach Wes Miller have if they were to pull this one out?
And it's the fans, right? The fans, they love Cincinnati. 125 years of basketball being played. Your football team, they performed well through the first 9 weeks of the year. You went 7-1. I haven't seen this many fans and this collective being this loud since maybe September. It's been that long since Cincinnati has been hungry to finally get something, and there it is. They get the call for the Bearcats.
Let me tell you, KC, I had the privilege of calling the crosstown shootout last year, and this energy feels awfully similar. I mean, there are moments I'll take off my headset, just listen to the crowd, and it's electric in here. This is how it should be. And obviously, you know, you hit a rough patch, and it's expected for the fan base to be upset, you know, call for a change or two, but these players, the coaching staff, they never quit. And with 2:15 left to go, up by 9 over the #2 team in the country. Bearcats are looking for a monumental victory. Here comes Jizzle James, crosses the St. Paul logo, guarded by Nate Heisey. James gets a screen by Harris, switched on to by Momcilovic. James inside, Harris off the glass, and it's good! 10 points for Sincere Harris. Bearcats up by 11, under 2 left to go. Lipsy picks up his dribble. It's a bounce pass to Jefferson at the right wing, going in on Baba Miller. Jefferson tries to get by, goes a high arcer, no good. Rebounded by Tyler McKinley. A 6-0 run for the Bearcats over the last 90 seconds. And security, they're starting to get ready at the tunnels.
We talked earlier, there could be a chance that Cincinnati rushes the court. There's a possibility.
James almost lost his handle, gets it back, 8 left on the shot clock. Harris in front of his own bench, and a foul, or at least a timeout, is called by head coach Wes Miller. Looking at the Bearcats, they have forced 12 turnovers in this game, and Iowa State, they are a team that, you know, can control the ball very well. You know, they don't really turn the ball over, but the Bearcats defense, 12 is pretty good for a team that averages only 10.
You're 100% right, and it's passing, it's been better. It's also just not being dumb, right? You have the ball, don't travel. Baba Miller got called for a travel where he looked like he'd been pushed, and that caused a few, you know, boos from the crowd and a few like, oh, is that really a call or not? But I'm surprised. Cincinnati, they were underdogs in this game. 6.5 point favorites for Iowa State coming into today, and after the loss against the Jayhawks, that's expected. You don't want to go on a slid either. And for Cincinnati, if they win this game, they want Iowa State to also win more games, so they have a chance to possibly be ranked. The state of Ohio is very competitive right now in basketball for the collegiate level.
5 left on the shot clock. Bearcats up by 11. Miller drives his way inside. High archer's no good. Fight for the board. And it goes in the direction of the Cyclones. Here's Taman Lipsy going coast to coast. He lost it. No call yet. It will stay Cyclone ball. Looking at Coach Otzelberger for Iowa State, he said they expected Cincinnati to be a desperate, urgent, and physical team, praising them with their leadership and how much experience that they have, and it's been showing in this game. Momcilovic, he lets one fly, connects. 31 from Momcilovic. That deficit is down to 8, but with 50 seconds left, they might just run out of time. They bring the full court pressure. Miller has it at the right wing. They swing it up top to Jizzle James. James doubles him, finds Miller at the right wing to Sincere Harris in the near corner. Harris dancing around and a foul is called. 37.9 left to go. Bearcats up 75-67. It will be a 1-1 for the Bearcats. At the line, Sincere Harris, 10 points on the day for the junior from Canton, Ohio. Harris hits the first. That's 11 for him. Bearcats up 76-67.
That free throw percentage is looking a little better now for the Bearcats.
6 of 9 on the game. I mean, it's better than
Most of them have been Harris, too.
And he goes 2-2 from the line. 12 points for Harris. Bearcats up by 10. Momcilovic, once again a deep three, and he hits it. 34, this kid's unstoppable. Bearcats up by 7. Jizzle James, and he's fouled by Lipsy. Jizzle James, a pretty good free throw shooter when it comes to the standards of the Cincinnati team. Shoots 83% from the charity stripe. 28.7 left to go in this game. Cats up by 7.
I think we got to mention Milan Matilovic, past season and career high 29. He's crushed it. 34, most of them from behind the arc. He shot 8 of 13.
James' first free throw is up and good. He has 14. Jizzle James likes to play against Iowa State. In 3 total games in his career, he averages 19 points per game and shoots 46% from the floor, including 50% from beyond the arc.
Cincinnati pulls out this win. They have a 9-point lead. This will be Wes Miller's first win against Iowa State, something he's been searching for since his days back at UNCG.
Jizzle James checks out and receives an ovation from the fans here at Fifth Third Arena. 28.7 left to go. Cats up 79-70. Lipsy crosses the timeline, found Momcilovic, a deep three, no good, and it's secured by Baba Miller, who gives it off to Day-Day Thomas, and these fans can feel it now. A season with so many bumps in the road. Maybe, just maybe a moment these fans can enjoy the joy back in basketball. The Bearcats have weathered the storm. They defeat the Cyclones, the number 2 team in the nation, 79-70. They're gonna party hard in Clifton tonight as they storm the court.
Wow. This was a game that Cincinnati fans are going to remember for a long time. Second-ranked team in the nation goes down in Fifth Third Arena. Cincinnati has done it. They have silenced their haters these past few weeks. They have shown we can compete in the Big 12. Those first 3 games were a fluke. These past 2 were competitive. This team is finding their stride. They're going with it, and no one is going to be able to stop them after this win. But they play Arizona, the number 1 ranked team in the nation. Can they carry that going into that game?
It's been 13 years since Cincinnati has beaten AP top 5 team at home. Excuse me, 23 years. But the Bearcats, they get it done. The ruckus is completely emptied out onto the court. They win 79-70 over Iowa State. Absolutely incredible.
Chris, this game, they did it to Iowa State in football. They've now done it in basketball. The question is, could this be a rivalry brewing between these 2 teams?
I mean, they also did it in women's basketball too on the same court. Knocked off a top 15 Iowa State team, but for Cincinnati, Day-Day Thomas leads all scorers with 19. James right behind him with 15. Harris chips in a 12 alongside Celestine. They would shoot 44% from the floor, but we talked about it. The defense is legit. The question is, how will the offense do that? What's the X factor? And they did their job tonight.
Exactly, and the offense found a stride, right? Day-Day Thomas had to play different. He had 4 fouls throughout most of that game. He comes in, knocks down a few mid-range jumpers with 3 minutes left to go. Then Jizzle James gets the ball, comes back down, finds the same spot, knocks it down. This game was this close. People are listening, they can't see us, but I had my hands really close together. I was like, this is very close of getting out of hand. Cincinnati and Wes Miller, all props to him. Questions of can he coach? Can he actually close out games? He coached well. He found who needs to go in at the right times, rely on your defense. Players played the way that they need to. They are talented. These are guys that are 4 or 5-star recruits. You have guys like Sincere Harris. He was a 3-star recruit. This guy came out of nowhere tonight. 10 points, active like he is, always on defense. He cut so well. being a playmaker, finding great passing lanes for those facilitators, finishing at the rim. That's all you need to do if you're Cincinnati and you need these big wins.
It is a total team effort for this one. Looking at Iowa State, 70 points on the game, but Momcilovic, 34, 9 of 18 from the floor, including 8 3-pointers, like you mentioned, a new career high for him. It's back-to-back losses for the Cyclones. They fall to 16-2. The Bearcats advance to 10-8. Looking next for Iowa State, their next game will be at home against UCF on the 20th of January. As you mentioned, for the Bearcats, they will head to Tucson to play the #1 team in the nation. But here from Clifton, the Bearcats get it done. They defeat the Iowa State Cyclones 79-70. A much needed and deserved win for this fan base and head coach Wes Miller. For everyone that tuned in today, all 2,500 viewers of you guys, we thank you for listening to this broadcast. Alongside Casey Stevens, my name is Chris McGowan.